Okay, welcome everyone back to my channel, Mystics Table. We will be doing, let's see, this is session 7. Right hot off the press. It has not been that long since session 6, because I kind of really want to finish this delve and see if we can't reach Mattick. So let's do a quick recap. So last session, we made it into the deep wilds. We made it past the tree line. And as we were approaching that northwest area that Overseer Kanara had expressed to us, uh, the trees started to thicken. You know, there was a bunch of vines, huge roots, the foliage was crazy, and we actually ended up in a wild tanglewood. So we started our first delve site ever in this campaign, so that was pretty fun. It was a little rough. At first, we were rolling really, really, really badly, but eventually we did have a good roll, and we were able to meet an owl who had some mystical energy to it, and we were kind of able to read that energy and see that this owl was somehow like trying to request help, and it wanted us to follow it. And so we followed this owl into a clearing, which is where Albrun is at right now. And it turns out that an owlet chick had fallen from the nest into a hole, and it couldn't get out, and the owl couldn't, it doesn't have opposable thumbs, so it couldn't get the chick out itself. And so we were able to help provide some service to the owl, and we rescued the chick, and the owl brought the chick back up, and then we were able to successfully make camp. And so that was the night. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and you remember that countdown that we made last session about the 10 nights until the trial of Kinara. So I'm actually going to go ahead and mark one night off because it is now morning. So we have 9 nights left until Kinara's trial. Cool. Okay. Awesome. And so we're going to wake up. It's morning time. It's pretty early morning. We probably didn't sleep too long, I don't think. And everything's nice and secure. Nothing happened. No beasts are like over us. We didn't get freaking ambushed by any elves or anything. It's a nice, clear, secure clearing. And I think as we wake up and we kind of like look around and we look at that tree, and the owl is actually there perched looking right at us. So that's kind of creepy. Owls are nocturnal. It's morning time, but the owl is awake and it's looking right at us. And I think as we kind of like get up and get our things and we kind of keep like glancing up at this owl, once it sees that we have everything and that we're about to leave, I think the owl is actually going to kind of like, its chicks are nice and secure. The owl is going to jump off the branch, take a little bit of flight, land at a lower branch closer to us, and hoot. And I think we're going to take that as a signal that, again, it wants us to follow us. And to me, and here's the reason why I'm doing this, is because last session we rolled on, what was it? I think it was roll on Find an Opportunity. It was Find an Opportunity. It was a strong hit on Find an Opportunity. And that the opportunity that we chose was you encounter a denizen who might support you. And so when we encountered this owl needed our help. So it didn't really do anything for us. We went and helped the owl. But the strong hit says that this thing is actually supposed to help us. So I think to reflect that, this owl is actually going to know the way to Mattick. It's going to lead us in the direction to where we need to go. And to me, I feel like that is actually a very significant thing. And so I'm actually going to mark progress on our journey. So not the delve site, but the journey, the overall journey that we're on to reach Mattick. I feel like that the fact that we are receiving help for this journey, I feel like that's actually pretty significant. And it looks like I actually forgot to oops, wait a minute. Oh, I just marked the wrong thing. Okay, let me make a note of that. I marked the wrong thing. That's my bad. Yeah, so we're going to mark that journey, that dangerous journey. And so we are at 6 boxes for the journey. So I just want to mark that. I feel like that's significant progress now that we have something that supposedly knows the way to Mattick. Obviously, Albrun doesn't know this, but he's going to follow this owl. He trusts it. He could see it with the sight. There's something up with this owl. So we're going to follow it, and we are actually going to go ahead and delve the depths again. And this is plus wits because we're following the owl, so it's not like we're sneaking around, and it's not like we're rushing through the tanglewood. So this is a plus wits delve, I think. Yeah, this is a plus wits, right? Yep. Choose one. Okay, yep. This is plus wits. So we break our camp, and we're going to follow this owl. So plus wits. There's a 4 on the action die, plus 2 is a 6. Versus a 2 and an 8. That's a weak hit on Delve the Depths. On a weak hit, roll on the following table according to your stat. So we did that with wits. So this is a D100 roll. That's a 74. Choose one. Mark progress or find an opportunity. We're going to mark progress. I definitely want to mark progress. So we're going to mark progress. 3 boxes. Cool. We're going to mark that progress on our delve sheet. We're at 9 out of 10 boxes. And so Albrun is following this owl through the thicket. I'm surprised we didn't find any denizens to fight. I mean, it was only a troublesome delve site. But yeah, so Albrun is going to follow this owl through the thicket, and I think we are going to come up on another clearing within I want to say within less than an hour, so maybe within like 30 minutes or so. And we are going to go ahead and try to locate our objective. I think we're going to try to clear this this delve site with our 9 boxes. So when your exploration of a site comes to an end, roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. Momentum is ignored on this roll. Okay? Let's do it. We're going to roll our challenge dice. Please be a strong hit. I swear these dice don't like me. Strong hit. Please, I'm begging you. Okay, that's a 6. And a 10. So that's a weak hit. You locate your objective, but face an unforeseen hazard or complication. Envision what you find. Okay, I think what makes the most sense here, I don't think I need to ask the Oracle for this. I think the owl is going to lead us into this clearing, and we're going to see a nice, cute little cottagecore, little hut kind of thing. It's a nice hut made out of, I won't even say it's like, it's not even a hut. I would say it's actually more of like a tree. It's like a huge tree in this clearing. And at the bottom of the tree is a nice divot where a house is built inside of the tree. And so there's like a front door and stuff. There's some windows, but it's definitely like a tree house kind of thing, but on the ground. None of the lights are on. So you can't see any like candle glow or anything, but you can definitely tell that someone lives here. Like there's some there's some boar that are like strung up on a few of the branches, preserved meat, I guess. You can see that there is a pot over a fire. The fire is smoking, so the fire isn't on, but the fire is smoking, so it was on, possibly. What else? So there's signs of life here, but the owl kind of lands on a nearby branch in the clearing, and it kind of acknowledges that it has taken us here to Mattick, but Mattick isn't anywhere to be seen. So I think that's what the complication is going to be on this weak hit for locate your objective, but we did go ahead and clear this delve site. So let me go ahead and mark that. We cleared it. And we reached Mattick's place, but Mattick isn't here. However, I feel like that is justification enough to mark progress on our journey. Is it not? Reach Mattick in the deep wilds. We're here at his house. That's pretty significant. So we're going to mark a box. We're going to mark some boxes. So we are at 8 boxes, 8 out of 10. Mattick isn't here. And so I think we have 2 choices before us right now. We're at 8 out of 10 boxes. We can attempt to reach our destination and possibly just wait here until Mattick shows up, or we can go looking for. Well, you know what? Hold on. Locate your objective. That was a weak hit. It says you locate your objective but face an unforeseen hazard or complication. You know, I feel like that complication isn't detailed enough, that Mattick just isn't here. I think, you know what? Okay, I got it. Never mind. I got a better complication that I think makes more narrative sense. There's signs of life, but there's also signs of struggle. So the front door that I mentioned earlier to that on the ground treehouse is actually busted open, and the lock is busted. It's on the ground. You can definitely see some branches broken. It looks like there might have been a fight here. And I think that this is an opportunity to gather information and see if we can't investigate and see if anything jumps out at us. So there's obviously a sign of struggle. Mattick isn't here. Okay, so we're going to roll plus wits. So that's +2. Yeah, that's +2 on gather information. There's a 5 on the action die, +2 is a 7 versus a 1 and a 4. Strong hit. On a strong hit, you discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or action you must take to make progress is made clear. Envision what you learn and take +2 momentum. Okay, so we're at 5 momentum here, and I think it's actually very clear what has happened. So Albrun is going to take a closer look, and he is actually going to see in the grass patches that is in this clearing, he's going to see the very distinctive shape of an inverse hoof. And with his time spent growing up with Hulata, who is his elvish mother figure, he knows and recognizes this hoof shape to be of a gaunt, and actually maybe even of multiple gaunts that he sees. And so he comes to the conclusion that there were elves here, clearly riding gaunts, so probably armed elves. And based on the signs of struggle that he sees in the clearing, in the treehouse, and etc., it seems very clear that Mattick might have been taken by these elves. Okay, and so our path is clear. We actually have a trail to follow. That's very interesting. So I think this owl, it's going to feel like its duty was served. It led us to our objective, and I think it understands that. And the owl is going to give a little hoot, and it's actually going to fly back to the clearing with its chicks. And, we're going to let it go, obviously. And so we now have tracks to follow. Okay. Well, what do? I guess we just follow the tracks. Is that any type of roll? I don't think that's undertake a journey. We don't know where we're going. So I don't really feel like that's undertake a journey. Is it? Is that undertake a journey? I don't know. So these woods are definitely enchanted. So maybe it's just a face danger, and see. Maybe it's just a face danger, right? I think it might just be a face danger. I think it's a face danger with observation or insight, because we're following these gaunt tracks. So it's plus wits. Okay, yeah, I think we're just going to do face danger plus wits. So that's a +2. That's a 3 on the action die, which makes it a 5 versus 1, 5, and a 1. So that's a weak hit on face danger. On a weak hit, you succeed but face a troublesome cost. Choose one. Okay, so before I choose the consequence, we're going to go ahead and hop back into the fiction. So Albrun recognizes that these hoof prints are gaunt prints, and he knows, we're in the deep wilds, so the elves must have came through here. And as he's following these footprints, he is definitely seeing a lot of signs of struggle. Lots of branches from the trees have been broken, the vines have been slashed. These in fact, these are the same enchanted vines that he himself has encountered. They're kind of like twitching on the ground. They're not like attacking him or anything. They've been cut probably by the elves that were coming into Mattick's space. Obviously, Mattick has defended this place quite well with whatever enchantments and stuff. And we also see like piles of rocks and leaves, which Albrun doesn't really know what that's about, but we'll come back to that detail later. Let's see, what was this? A weak hit. Okay, you succeed but face a troublesome cost. So I think we're gonna, okay, so you are delayed, lose advantage, or face a new danger. You are tired or hurt, you are dispirited or afraid, you sacrifice resources. I think what makes sense to me is we face a new danger. So I'm gonna suffer 1 momentum. And even though we have cleared this delve site, we technically are still in the Tanglewood. And so I'm actually going to borrow from one of the denizens that we marked on the delve sheet. And I'm going to say, as we're following these elf tracks, I want to say that this thing, this humanoid shape, suddenly, as we're following the elf tracks, comes out from one of the tree trunks on our left side and like grabs us. And this grip is not natural at all. It does not feel like flesh. And when we turn to look, it's just this humanoid thing made out of rocks. It's like a bunch of rocks put together that makes it look like it's a human. Like it has a rock for a head, a rock neck, rocks for a torso. Its arms are made out of like pebbles and stuff. And it's like grabbing on our arm. And so Albrun is very surprised. And I think what we're going to do here is we are going to face danger. We're going to face danger, and we're going to actually leverage our sighted asset, because whatever the heck this thing is, probably magical. So we can leverage sighted when we detect, or when we face danger, to identify or detect mystic forces. We can add +1 and take 1 momentum on a hit. We're going to face danger. I think this is... what is this? So this thing has us by the arm. So I don't think this is speed. It's not like we can dodge it. It has us. I want to say it's with strength. Yeah, this is with strength. This thing has us by the arm. It's some rock golem. Yeah, so this is plus iron, so that's +1, with also +1 from our sighted asset. That's +2. We're going to face danger. 6. Okay, double 6s on the challenge die. And a 4. Oh my God. A 4 on the action die +2 is a 6. So this is a miss. Miss with a match. Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, on a miss, you fail. Your progress is undermined by a dramatic, costly turn of events. Pay the price. Okay, I think what's gonna happen is this rock golem thing, whatever it is gonna grab us, and it has us. And it's actually gonna get us in its arm. And this thing is tweaking. It's not right. And Albrun is gonna try to talk to it, like, let me go, like, what are you doing, what are you, like, let me go. But the thing is not listening. And I want to say that perhaps what it's going to do is it's going to actually attempt to, it's going to get its arm around Albrun's neck, and actually I think it has Albrun in like a chokehold, in its rock arms. And I think it's going to try to choke Albrun. So to me, this is another face danger. And under normal circumstances, I would say this is face danger with iron. But what we're going to do here is I think we're going to try to leverage some magic, because this is freaking crazy. And so Albrun is going to like get his hands on this rock arm that's around his neck, and he's going to try to channel some energy. So let's see what happens. And our essence track is only +2, so we're not doing too well on the essence. We're going to roll anyways. That's a 3 on the action die, +2 essence is a 5, versus a 3 and a 5. Okay, weak hit. So weak hit on face danger. So we subtract 1 essence, add 1. Oh wait a minute. Yeah. Never mind. Okay, so subtract 1 essence. We're at 1 essence. We're gonna add plus 1 momentum, so we're at 5. And then that was face danger, weak hit. You succeed, but face a troublesome cost. Choose 1. What's makes the most sense? I would say this to me. I feel like this is you are tired or hurt. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So this rock golem, it's like choking Albrun, and it's choking him with freaking rocks. And Albrun like has his arms, his hands on this thing, and he's going to just try to like use his magic to figure out whatever kind of enchantment is keeping this thing together. Try to dispel it. He's gonna try to push his magic and push whatever magic that's in these rocks out. I think that's what he's gonna do. And so when he does that, the rocks actually start vibrating, and they suddenly kind of just like fall apart. And so this rock arm that had him choking actually just kind of the rocks just kind of tumble down on the ground, and the thing like falls apart into a bunch of pebbles. And Albrun falls to the ground, has his neck, and it's like, trying to get his breathing back, because that thing was choking him. It was trying to kill him. And so we're going to endure 1 harm. So we're down to 3 health. We need to go ahead and roll endure harm and see what the result of that is. Okay, so endure harm. Okay, and so it's plus health, because we have 3 health and only 1 iron. So let's see what happens with that. So 4 on the action die plus 3 is a 7 versus a 2 and a 6. So that's a strong hit on endure harm. And so we can choose 1. Shake it off or embrace the pain. What do we want to do? We can embrace the pain and take a momentum and stay at 3 health. Or we can get 1 health back and suffer momentum. I think I'm gonna take the momentum. Oh, so we're at 6 momentum now. Cool. Okay. So yeah. So we got choked out, and I would say we probably even have the starts of bruising around our neck. And so Albrun's gonna get up, and he's like, okay, what the heck was that? That was a simulacrum. Albrun doesn't know what that is, though. So, Jesus Christ. We're gonna keep following these gaunt tracks, but we're definitely gonna be a little bit more careful now. These woods are treacherous. These are not good woods. Yeah. So we're gonna keep following these gaunt tracks. I don't know what role this would be, because we're not on a journey. We're following these gaunt tracks. I want to say gather information, maybe. I think maybe gather information. We're going to keep following these gaunt tracks, see if there's anything new. Maybe we're getting close. I don't think it would be another face danger. I don't think that makes too much sense. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and gather information again. So this is plus wits, which is plus 2. Okay, that's a 6 on the action die. Plus 2 is an 8 versus a 2 and a 2. Okay, strong hit with a match. Okay, finally something goes in our favor. So on a strong hit, you discover something very helpful and specific. The path you must follow or action you must take to make progress is made clear. Vision what you learn and take plus 2 momentum. Okay, so we're at 8 momentum. And I think that the gaunt track is actually going to lead us into a clearing, or not as big of a clearing as we were in last time, but a clearing nonetheless. And I think there's actually going to be a campsite right there. And I'm going to say, let's see, let's roll an action die. 5? Ooh, okay, 5. Okay, so in the clearing, there are 5 elves. 5 armed elves. Their gaunts are kind of grazing, I think, on the grass or whatnot. They have tents set up, and maybe they're even taking the tents down right now, and they're getting ready to move. And in the middle of the clearing is Mattick, and he's sitting there, tied up with his hands behind his back. I would say he probably even maybe has a gag in his mouth because he's a mystic. They know he's a mystic. Not that mystics need to invoke spells to use their magic, but his hands are tied and there's a gag. They're just being safe. So it doesn't seem like he can use any of his magic right now. And so let's go ahead and describe what Mattick looks like. So I already did a little bit of pre-writing to determine this. So let's see. He is old and grizzled. He has a gray beard that I would say probably comes down maybe right here. Maybe it's kind of a shorter beard. He has gnarly hands and knuckles, so you can definitely see that his skin is like wrinkled. He has bony protrusions in his joints and stuff. He's dressed in a simple like gray tunic that is garbed with wolf and bear pelts, so he probably has like pelts on his shoulder, and maybe he has even maybe an overshirt made out of pelts over his tunic, and he usually wields a wooden staff that he uses for support, but I don't think it's anywhere in the vicinity, and he has copper eyes. So like all mystics are Skuld born, and how we said in session 0, those of Skuld descent have metallic colored eyes. His eyes are copper. Okay? So that is Mattick. So he's sitting there, gag in his mouth, hands tied behind his back. The elves are probably getting ready to lift him up and put him on a gaunt. We have no idea why they captured him or anything like that. So, but we're here. And we need to reach this man. We need to free him. There's no way we can fulfill our vow. I don't think there's no way we can fulfill our journey that we take to reach him without freeing him from the elven custody. Do we just walk in there and confront? Because there's no way we can fight 5 elves. 5 armed elves and their gaunts in the middle of a Tanglewood. Like, there's absolutely no way that we can win that fight. So I don't think fighting is even I don't think fighting is even a reasonable idea right now. But is it smart for us to just kind of walk into the clearing and try to talk to these elves? Clearly, whatever Mattick has done, or whatever beef that these two sides have, it's deep enough to kidnap Mattick out of his home and keep him like chained up and stuff. So I wonder if talking is going to do anything. I mean, we could try to keep following them like stealthily and see where they're going, but I have a feeling that wherever they're going, and I think Albrun is thinking the same thing, wherever they're going is probably even more fortified. They're probably going to a place that has way more elves, way more armed guards. And so if we just follow close behind, that sounds to me like we're going to make this harder on ourselves, because we're probably not going to be able to break into wherever they're taking him. They clearly want him alive, or they would have killed him at his place. So clearly there's some goals going on here. And so I think, I don't know if this is stupid, but I feel like our best action is to just confront these elves. Like, walk into the clearing, show ourselves, and ask what the heck is going on. I don't know. That seems kind of dumb. But you know what? Albrun was raised by an elf, so he knows elvish culture and customs. So I think he doesn't have a sword. Remember, we lost our sword to those vines, those enchanted vines. So we aren't even armed. And so I think what we're going to do here is, I think we're going to have to be ballsy. And I think Albrun is going to... I think Albrun is going to walk into the clearing. He's going to have his hands up. He's going to walk into this clearing, and pretty much like 2 or 3 steps into the clearing, pretty much every single elf clocks him, and they have their bows out, get their spears ready, and this is a whole thing. And Albrun's going to say, I mean no harm. I'm here for Mattick. And he points at the old man. And he's assuming that this is Mattick. He doesn't know what Mattick looks like, but that was clearly Mattick's home. So he's going to assume that this is Mattick. And he's right. The elves are going to look among each other. They're going to look at him, and they're going to clock those silver eyes he has. And I think Albrun's even going to actually take off his hood as a gesture of good faith of some sort, reveal his face, and they're going to see his silver eyes. So they're going to know that he himself is also probably a mystic, but he doesn't have any markings the way... and I forgot to mention about Mattick's appearance. That man is tattooed everywhere. I mean, he has just black ink just all over his body. It's just in different like runes on his face, around his eyes, on his neck, on the back of his hand, arms, everything. He has ink everywhere. Albrun's skin is completely blank. Okay, so this sounds like a face danger to me with courage, right? Charm or courage. So this sounds like face danger plus heart to me, to see what the outcome of whatever this is going to be, right? I think this is face danger plus heart. See how the elves are going to react to this. He entered the clearing completely unarmed, hands up. He's clearly not threatening. So let's see what happens. There's a 5 on the action die, plus 2 is 7, versus a 9. Ooh, and a 10. That's a miss. On a miss, you fail, or your progress is undermined by a dramatic and costly turn of events. Pay the price. I don't even think we need to roll on the pay the price table. I think I know exactly what happens. They see that he's a mystic. They don't even want to listen to him. I doubt they trust a single word that comes out of these mystics' mouths. They're known for their trickery and stuff. And I think the elf closest to Albrun approaches with a spear. And Albrun's like, I don't mean you any harm. He's like trying to talk. And like in the middle of his sentence, I think this elf takes the spear and just whacks Albrun in the jaw with the butt of the spear. And Albrun just, he just gets smacked, flash across the face, and falls down unconscious. He got knocked out. Okay. So Albrun is knocked out. Okay. We're knocked out. Okay. So I think at this point we need an oracle. I think we need an oracle and figure out where we're at. So I think I kind of want to roll on location, right? I think we're going to roll on location. Let's do that. We're going to roll on location. Location oracle, see what happens. 91. Mountain. No, that doesn't make sense. We're in the deep wilds. I'm going to roll that again. 60. Yeah, 60. Moor. I don't know what a moor is. You know what? Okay, I'm not going to roll on the location oracle. I'm going to say, I'm going to roll one more time. And I remind myself to look up what a moor is after this recording. Is that another 60? What the heck? Roll again. 60? I swear these dice are weighted. What the heck? 81. Okay. 81. Coast. That also doesn't make sense. The Deep Wilds doesn't have a coast. But you know what? We're just going to extrapolate that, and we're going to say we're by a riverbank. So Albrun comes to after some time. I would say probably this is about noon. So he comes to, he wakes up a little bit, and they are by a riverbed. A rocky riverbed in the Deep Wilds. Trees are everywhere. And the 5 elves, or actually I would say maybe 4 of them, are like chatting off a little bit to the side, and one of them is a little bit closer, and he's not really paying attention to Albrun, but he is there kind of guarding the prisoners. And Albrun's gonna like kind of wake up in a little bit of a haze. His jaw hurts real bad. Dang, and I think he's gagged too. He's gagged. Yeah. If they gagged Mattick, they gagged him too. And he looks over, and Mattick is right there, this old grizzled man. is just looking at Albrun, eyes squinted. He doesn't look very happy, but he can't say anything. He's gagged, as is Albrun. Albrun's like trying to move his jaw because it hurts, but he realizes he can't because he's gagged. Okay, you know what? I think I don't know. Okay, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna end the session here. Um, I don't know what the heck is going on, so I'm gonna need some time to think about this. Um, yeah, this is crazy. We got captured by elves. We're here with well, you know what? Hold on. Let's resolve some stuff. We reached Mattick. We're here. I know I said earlier that I didn't want to complete that journey unless we freed Mattick, but we are right here by Mattick. So we're here. We reached him. And so to me, I feel like that is a good enough thing to... well, hold on. Let's see where we're at with Mattick. Journey from Grimbrooke to Mattick in the Deep Wild. So we have reached Mattick. I almost want to say that that counts as significant progress. Like, I mean, I know we're here in chains, but he's literally not a foot away from us. So I'm going to mark progress. I feel like it's fair to mark progress here. We reached him. That was the journey. Didn't say we had to free him. We didn't know he was captured, but we reached him. So we have all 10 boxes, and we are going to go ahead and reach our destination and see what happens there. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe something will happen if we get a strong hit on this reach your destination. I don't know. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Hopefully something good. So we're going to roll our 2 challenge die versus our 10 on our progress track. I'm going to be so surprised if we miss this. The only way we miss this is if we roll 2 10s, which would be freaking ridiculous. Oh no, I dropped my dice. Okay, so we are going to roll our 2 action die versus 10 boxes. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's a 4 and a 5. It's a strong hit on reach your destination. Okay, on a strong hit, the situation at your destination favors you. Choose one. Make another move now and add +1 or take 1 momentum. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to take the momentum. So we're at 9 momentum. And the situation favors us. So you guys remember, okay. Oh, this is good. I'm so glad we rolled here. Okay, so you remember that that rock golem thing that had ambushed Albrun? Well, while those 4 elves are like talking amongst each other, we can't hear them. They're a little far away. From the woods comes like 7 of these rock golems. They just come out of the woods and they rush the elves. And they just start like going ham on the elves. They're like punching the elves. The elves are like, the elves are quick. Some of them draw their bows and try to shoot arrows, but these things are made out of rocks. And the arrows literally just bounce off of these golems. And, maybe the elves are able to get, a few of them are able to get their spears and like kind of engage in combat with these golems, but they are outnumbered. There's 5 of the elves and there's 7 of the golems. And I think the golems came from such a quick ambush that the elves just really weren't prepared, and since we rolled a strong hit on reach our destination, I think the way we're going to reflect this is that the golems win. They win, and ooh, this is going to get a little dark, but the golems, they kill the elves. They bludgeon the elves to death. So not all of the golems survive. I would say maybe let's roll our action die. 2. Okay, so 7 golems are engaging in fight with these elves. And the elves do put up a good fight. They are trained warriors wherever they're from, whatever their business was, we don't know. And they, their arrows don't work on the golems, but with their spears, they're like, and they're not even using the sharp part of their spears because these things are rock. So they're using like the wooden shafts of their spears, and they're like kind of using it as like wooden staffs, if you will. And they're like bludgeoning these rock golems as best as they can, but eventually they get overwhelmed. And so 5 rock golems fall, and like they, again, kind of what we did when we dispelled the mystical effect, same thing happens to those golems that fall. They just turn into a pile of rubble. But eventually all 5 of the elves are killed. They're that their heads are like smashed in with rock fists or whatever, and 2 rock golems remain. So after that ghastly fight, those 2 rock golems, they immediately make their way, they shamble their way, kind of limping a little bit, over to their master, Mattick, and they have like rock fingers, so they're not the best at like dexterity type movements, but they are able to get that gag off of his mouth, and he's like, "Oh, finally! It's about time you rock idiots show up." And they're also able to get his bindings off, and so Mattick, with the help of his golem servants, is able to stand up. Remember, he is an old man, and I think he's gonna he's like leaving Albrun. Albrun's like gagged. He's like begging for help, but Mattick is like kind of ignoring Albrun for a little bit, and he goes where the elves are like keeping their stuff, and he gets his wooden staff that they had taken from him, and he can now stand up properly. It's like, that's better. And I think he's gonna look at Albrun and say, "Now, who the heck are you?" And I think we're gonna end the session there. And we will figure out how this is gonna go on the next session. So that's pretty cool. So if you like this, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, whatever. And I'll see you guys next session. Thanks for listening.